Another video. This video is going to be analyzing the Clasico, where Real Madrid won and now they top La Liga table. But before we start, check out the channel, become a subscriber, and become a member, because then you'll get a free copy of my book that's coming out next week. The cover is my profile picture, so check out all the exclusive content members get, exciting stuff happening in the background, and check out Keyframe, and that's how I make most of my videos. Both the links are in the description below, so let's get right into it. So we have Barcelona here in possession. They went with a back 3 or 5 depending on the phase of the game, then a double pivot with De Jong being a little bit more adventurous going forward and a little bit more fluid with players like Messi in front of him, and then Dembele was a lone forward to try and take advantage of his speed and isolate himself against defenders, with Pedri in the left half space as the offensive midfielder, with Dest and Alba in the first half. Dest and Alba were controlling the wide areas for Barcelona, and the key phase for Real Madrid was their defensive phase, primarily in the low block. Is how they countered with Vinicius isolating himself against the wide center backs and using the space in behind. But they went with a back 3 or 5 depending on the phase, usually a back 5, with Valverde dropping deeper as a right wing back, Vasquez playing through the right half space and jumping to Pedri between the lines, and using cover shadows from the midfielders as well as man orientation to then control the influence of Messi on the game, and having vertical partnerships on the same line. Vertical line of players in their defensive phase was a huge part of Real Madrid's game plan. So let's start looking at it. We have our back 3, Dembele controlling the height, Real Madrid's pressing, man orientation to try and control the mutual help space around the ball when they were in their high block. We see the match-like rondos that were used by Barcelona, and then our transition on this side for when Real Madrid dropped into their deeper lower block. Casemiro staggered himself as they went higher. It was almost like a 5-1-3 at times, but at their low block it was definitely a 5-4-1, with man orientation making that look a little different. Now in the offensive phase for Real Madrid, they played with a slightly narrow midfield 3. Barcelona split Messi and Dembele to try and press the back 4. Vinicius Jr. looked to isolate himself in the wide area, and now Barcelona in the second half, Dest came off. They went with primarily 2 central defenders and built with a midfield diamond, which gave them more freedom, with the 2 forwards pinning the back 5. It gave the midfielders a bit more space to then try and have an impact between the lines, as well as the 2 forwards pinning looked to give Barcelona more emphasis on their numerical advantage. Going on with the video here, we'll look at the Barcelona build-up shape in the first half. We have our back 3, our 3 central defenders from Barcelona, and I'll connect them quickly. And as we see, the left center back being aggressive on the ball, looking to pull Modric out from the midfield, creating space between the lines. Then we had the tendency of De Jong and Busquets to occupy the double pivot position, and De Jong was much more free going vertical and his horizontal movement as well. But between the lines we had Pedri with Dembele pinning and Messi through the right half space. And now we see the back 5 from Real Madrid with the vertical partnerships in mind between Modric and Vasquez, as was a key concept for Real Madrid throughout the match. So Valverde drops as the right wing back. Vasquez is now playing as a right central defender, jumping to Pedri between the lines, with the other 3 defenders maintaining the line with Valverde. Now when Modric jumps, this gives Real Madrid almost a 5-1-3-1 formation. Modric and Kroos shift across, with Vinicius also coming, so they have numerical superiority around the double pivot of Barcelona, with Casemiro now holding the space between the line and Benzema cutting off circulation, trying to isolate the ball in the wide areas where it's less dangerous, and then they'll have space in behind to transition into. Now, in their low block, Real Madrid clearly went with a back five. Valverde again, right wing back Vasquez, joining the center backs to make a back three, and with the two wing backs playing deeper. Now we have a four-man midfield with Vinicius and Modric joining as the wide players in the midfield four, and Benzema dropping deeper as well to back press the holding midfielder Busquets. And here's one instance where we can see the fluidity from Barcelona playing between the lines. We have Busquets on the ball, Messi in the right half space, Pedri and De Jong through the left half space looking to get between the lines with Dembele pinning. So we have overloads between the lines in the left half space as well as the wing backs creating width. So definitely some concepts that Real Madrid had to defend against, and they did so using cover shadows, compactness, and vertical partnerships. Real Madrid in possession, they went with a narrow midfield three with Casemiro as the pivot, Toni Kroos as the 8, and Modric as the 10. And what this did, and the dual width created by Vasquez and Valverde, is it gave almost a vacant half space in the build-up, and with deep fullbacks, the wide players of Barcelona had to travel a greater distance to press. So what this did was it gave potential for players like Valverde or one of the midfielders to then look to use the half space dynamically and look to access this space and come inside, with the dual width being a perfect situation to create staggering dynamically, avoiding the cover shadow of the Barcelona player pressing. Now in the second half, when Barcelona made a tactical shift, they looked to play more attacking with a midfield diamond with Busquets at the pivot, with three players occupying advanced areas, trying to emphasize the numerical advantage they have against the Real Madrid players, and the width being held by more fullbacks now rather than wingbacks. And for this, they also used two central strikers looking to pin the back five or back four, depending on the situation. And what this would do is it tried to isolate the midfields against each other to then use the numerical advantage Barcelona had, but they couldn't break the deadlock, and Real Madrid came away with the victory. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.